The city of Orleans was on the brink of collapse. Surrounded by English forces for months, it had become a symbol of French despair during the 100 Years' War. Morale was broken, supplies were dwindling, and the English siege tightened like a noose. Enter Joan of Arc, a teenage peasant girl claiming divine visions. Dressed in armor and wielding nothing but faith and fire, she arrived with a mission to save France. To many, she was either heaven-sent or completely mad. But in desperate times, even the impossible sounds worth trying. Joan wasn't just a figurehead. On May 7th, 1429, she led the charge against the Tourelles, the final English stronghold choking Orléans. Amid arrows, blood, and chaos, she climbed a ladder under heavy fire. An enemy arrow pierced her shoulder and she was dragged from the fray, bleeding and weak. But giving up wasn't an option. After tending her wound, Joan returned to the battlefield that very day. Her reappearance electrified the French troops. With their banner raised high, they rallied and surged forward like thunder. The English faltered. Her courage turned the tide. The French stormed the fortress, driving out the invaders. Orléans was free. For the first time in years, the French saw hope. Not from kings or generals, but from a teenage girl who believed she was chosen by God. Word of Joan's triumph spread like wildfire. France had found its heroine. No noble birth, no army of her own, just unshakable belief. She wasn't just fighting for land, she was fighting for a nation's soul. The siege's end was more than a military victory. It was a spiritual awakening. Joan showed that conviction could outshine bloodlines and that bravery could rise from the most unexpected places. Her success at Orléans shattered the myth of English invincibility. The once dominant enemy began to retreat, rattled by what they called the witch and her holy fire. But to the French, Joan was the Maid of Orléans, a divine weapon in human form. Though her journey would end in flames just 2 years later, this moment, May 7th, 1429, remains one of the most powerful in medieval history. Not just for the battle won, but for the legend born. Joan of Arc didn't just lift a siege, she lifted a nation.